What's up? It's your boy Jrad back at it again with another tutorial. This time on my favorite game of all time. No joke. Let me start this off by saying Melee is one of the hardest games of all time, and if anyone tells you different, they haven't tried to move before. And this video is about the movement aspect of Melee and why it's so important with the characters. You could watch this even if you don't know a lot about Melee, just to see how insane these inputs are to do. But I want to focus and talk about why movement is so important in this game, because without it you wouldn't be able to do all of the crazy stuff. The combos that top players do and stuff, insane. I also am not the one to speak about how good I am at Melee. I'm just mediocre at the game and I want to make a fun video, so let me do that. So the first thing I really want to talk about is just what the movement is in Melee. Down here you can see my inputs on the controller that I'm doing. That's just what that overlay is right there. I'm gonna play Fox because that's, you know, the character I can move the best with. When I am doing my movement in Melee, fast and efficiently, okay, efficiently it doesn't look like this, but surely doesn't look like this when I'm playing efficient. But you could say I am moving at kind of this pace. I'm doing a mix of neutral airs, a mix of wave shines and stuff. But the two most basic movements in Melee is one, the dash dance, where you go dashing like this and you kind of go back and forth like that. Pretty simple. You're doing some dashes back and forth. Now, what you don't want to do when you're moving, those were wave dashes, I'll get to that. But in Melee, beginners tend to just, oh, do this, I'm going to run, do this slow movement, and then you get all locked up and you can't move. Because in this animation, I'm moving, boom, can't really do anything, and you get booty clapped after that. So the way that you should be moving in Melee is mixing up dash chances, and the next technique, wave dashing, looks like that. Now, with a lot of different characters in this game, Fox has one of the faster wave dashes because it's just speedy boy, you know. But you basically jump. What a wave dash is you jump, boom, wave dash down. I mean, just air dodge down. You can jump and just do it neutrally. Just pressing the shield in the air does this. If you do it in a direction, it does this. You can do it in all the directions. But typically it's best to practice wave dashing first, going directly down. You just jump. You can, you know, usually you're high at first when you do it, or it just doesn't come out at all, or this weird shield thing happens. But you can wave dash down like that. So uses of that would be if you're going in, boom, wait, punish or something like that. You can wave dash down, you can wave dash to the right, and you can wave dash to the left. And mixing dash dancing with wave dashes, you can kind of bait out stuff like that. There's practically infinite movement that you can have in this game. And when you get good at it, you can do stuff, you know, it's just so fun to move. Boom, 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 you know what I mean? And I know everyone that's ever played Melee, if they're watching this video before, it's the reason that this game is so fun. But yeah, let me talk about the next thing that is very, very important. It's your good old technique called L canceling. A lot of beginners in Melee, I feel, don't know what L canceling is, and before you learn what it is, you're like, oh, why is my character moving so slow? So if I'm not L canceling, my Fox is moving at a pace ignore that, but my Fox is moving at a pace like this, right? No L cancels. I'm going, it's so locked in my brain that I accidentally L canceled when I was trying not to. But without L canceling, movement is slower. With L canceling, you can just move so much faster. This is with, right? This is without. That is, okay. That is without. There's a big difference. My ring keeps hitting my D-pad, bro. This game is so hard to move in that I need to take my rings off when I play. if I'm ever gonna be a professional gamer, I can't be wearing all this drip on my fingers, okay? Just saying. But, however, that's not important. The way you L cancel is when you do an aerial move in the air, 7 frames before you hit the ground, you either light press the shield button or you hard click it. It doesn't matter. Just an input on the shield 7 frames before you hit the ground. So if I don't do it right, like this, I'm not pressing anything on the shield. It's just, it kind of looks like that. When I personally L cancel, I light shield L cancel. So I just kind of boom that John, right? Some people hard press it. The thing I don't like about hard pressing to L cancel is like a lot of the time I will like go into shield like that. Yeah, L canceling, especially with different characters too. Like if I'm playing Falco in general just is a slower character than Fox. You use a lot more lasers and stuff. Later I might do character specific tutorials. But with Falco, like this is him without L canceling. Right? This is him with it. It really matters for so many characters. Even like Marth too. Marth is a really big one with L canceling. Like if I'm not L canceling with Marth, he's more of a floaty. Floaty meaning like character that just weighs less and gets hit harder by strong moves. But like L canceling with Marth is really important too. But like, yeah, L canceling is a technique that you really want to get down. Now also, let me go back and preface this. Wavedashing is different with a lot of characters. So like if I'm playing your good old Fox, right? The Wavedash timing itself is like a certain rhythm. Whatever character you're playing in Melee, you want to practice that rhythm, you know? And the more you practice, the more you're going to get used to it, alright? Sorry to say it. But like, right now, I am just a movement hoarder in this game. I'm not actually good, I just love to move my characters. That's why I never stop playing. But I co-main Spaceys. Don't bully me, it's fun. You know it's fun. But if I'm playing Fox, the Wavedash timing is different than a Falco. Falco's timing is slightly slower, right? Compared to what I was doing with Fox. With Marth, it's even a little bit slower than that, I think. Or well, it's like about the same thing. But different characters have different timings. It's not all the same. If you're playing a bozo, buns, amazing character like Bowser, the timing is this. You have to wait a long time to do that. Right? It's different. You get the point. Okay. Extra little tip. I was in the middle of editing this video and I realized something I missed about Wavedashing. Wavedashing really is... like, Wavedashing's importance level is really different with a lot of characters. So if I'm playing someone like a goofy old good boy Luigi, right? If I'm playing Luigi and I hit a Wavedash, I'm gonna go flying. I'm gonna go flying across the stage. It literally takes me like 1, 2, 3, 4 Wavedashes to get full stage across on FD. Compared to like a Fox, it takes like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If you're playing Falcon, specifically, a lot of my Falcon players or something, you know, maybe, you never know who's watching the video. His Wavedash, specifically for Falcon, isn't really that useful. Like, it's certainly useful for movement and playing neutral and stuff, which that's going to be for a different video. But typically with Falcon and some other characters in this game, you want to rely more on your dash chances than your Wavedash. And your moonwalks like this. It's another movement tech that I forgot to mention earlier, moonwalks. Which is like that. I'm not going to go into detail on how to do that, but, you know, for Falcon, he has the fastest dash speed in the game. Second to, I think, like Fox or something. So you want to use his dashes, like this, and use his good tools like up air and stuff for Falcon. Compared to someone else like, I don't know, Falco. Falco's game plan is to kind of use lasers and stay more grounded whenever he plays against Falcon, because Falcon is really good in the air because of his up airs. If he's playing against Puff, boom, you throw some up airs and Puff's cooked. If you're on platforms, you can do a shield drop like the other tech. You know, you can shield drop up air. Up air is a really good tool for Falcon, you know? And, you know, Falcon has some cool little movement stuff like that, you know, get a little crazy. Let me get back to editing the video. So now what I kind of want to talk about is when you pick your character in Melee, who do you want to play and what do you like to play as? You know, like, what I mean by that, right? Do you like to play fast, aggressive, hard-hitting, or do you like to kind of play more laid back but then you hit really hard? You might want to play someone like, I don't know, Marth or Jigglypuff, or even maybe in this day and age in Melee, a DK or a Link or something. I don't know. A Peach is a really good, like, you know, Peach is defensive. If you want to play someone that's more hard-hitting, you want to go for a Fox, a Falco, a Falcon, yeah. Like, Samus is also floaty defensive, but I'm sure if you're watching this video, you already know, like, the tier list in this game. You know who's good, you know who's not. But, yeah. I want to go over something with Jigglypuff, too, for a lot of people. I'm making this video for myself. With Jigglypuff, a really good technique to know is how to jump cancel back air. So, like, if you look down here, you know who you are, Ingiat. When I am playing Puff, jump, hold back, jump. Look, I'm pressing jump, like, right before I hit the C stick to the side. I want to see you be able to do that the next time we play. You know who you are. Okay? And you can kind of stall it out. Even the same thing with forward air, right? Because if I'm off the ledge, right, you want to be able to jump and hit me with the back airs. If I'm a spacey, you know? You want to be able to use that defensive ability against me, bro. And again, the wave dash timing with Puff is a little bit weird. But you get used to whatever character you play for a really long amount of time, right? Also, I'm using the Uncle Punch trainer right now. I'll put it in the description. I'll put the download. Maybe I'll link a tutorial to it. I don't know yet. But in this training mode, there's something called the Exercise. I know, amazing name. But if you play Spaceys, or even if you play Marth, right? Any character, it really doesn't matter. Just when you're a beginner and you want to practice movement, this is a really good way to go about it. So like during COVID, I knew a little bit more about this. I played Fox on Yoshi's and the world record was like 60 some eggs. I don't know what it is now, but like you kind of go, the eggs take like 12% damage to like break, but you kind of go around, use those movement techniques I was talking about, your good old L cancels, the wave dash. Okay, well, I'm buns, but like it's a good way to practice your movement. And on the certain stages, that's the next thing I'm gonna get to, is like different stages having different like elements to them that make them either easier or harder to play with certain characters. But yeah, you can kind of do that. If you're doing this like with Marth too, when you hit the eggs, you might be like, why does that not break? Because it's 12 damage for them to hit. Okay, that's how you know I'm bad with Marth. You want to hit the egg with like the tipper of the sword. So, boom, 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 you know, boom. Don't look at me do it. I'm not a Marth player. I'm a Spaceys player. I'm going to stop embarrassing myself. But yeah, the Exercise is a really good tool if you want to practice movement on any stage with a certain character. Doesn't matter. Also in this training mode, before I go over the different stages and stuff that are good with certain characters, there's combo training. So if you want to go with like, maybe not against freaking young Link, who's a rare character to fight against in this day and age, you can practice your combos. Like if I'm Falco, bam, like it's gonna tell you what a true combo is and not, right? And you can choose like if you want the DI behavior to be different, because when you combo, people DI your stuff. I'm not gonna. Okay, am I just like buns? I want to actually get a combo. Like, it shows you like what is realistic for like a combo, like whatever. You can practice your combos in the combo trainer. Attacking on shield is another one. So like, you just kind of go up and like practice like attacking against shield. You can see what works and not. There's reversal training. I'm not going to go into all these. Power shield training is another really important one. If you're Marth, if you're anyone fighting against Falco, you can bam, power shield to lasers. I'm not the best at this, and I still do need to do my fair share of practice. But essentially, you just shoot the laser back at the person that's shooting it. Or any projectile. Like if you're playing against Peach, she has turnips, you can power shield any like projectile that's flying towards you. Ledge teching is where like if you are here, you can tech ledge. Obviously, you know what I said in the beginning of the video. I'm not the best melee player in the universe, so I still need to do my fair share training. But it looks like that. I'm glad I got that. AMSA teching, shield dropping is where you're on a platform and you're holding shield. Okay, let me just go into this to explain what not power shielding, shield dropping is, because this is a really important technique too. And I remember when I learned it, I improved a lot. Okay, I improved so much. So what shield dropping is, this is also a more advanced tech, so if you're a beginner, you don't need to worry about this a lot, but it is really important. So if you're shielding and you are like on here, if you just flick directly down, you're gonna spot dodge. Okay, you're gonna spot dodge. If you hold a little bit here, like there's so many different ways to like freaking shield drop in this game, but the way I like to do it, I like to do an attack and buffer to hold my stick in a certain direction. So like if I want to shield drop the left way, I'll do this, boom, and I hold. Like I'll do an L cancel, then hold it this way, and then just flick down. Or if I'm holding it the right way, just down. That's what works for me. And I feel like that's what would work with a lot of people. The reason shield dropping is good is because if you don't shield drop, it takes longer to get below platforms and stuff. But if you do shield drop, you can get through like platforms and stuff faster. And combined with L canceling and wave dashing, it's the movement for melee, you know? I always shield drop. And I've been explaining this like whole video through just schmoving on what's it called? Pokemon Stadium, Frozen Stadium. So let me get to the stages now. So Yoshi's, this stage, like with Fox and stuff, you can, you know, this is a interesting stage to play on. There's Randall that comes out at like a certain time. I'm not gonna go into all the detail on that because I'm gonna gatekeep. But this stage, like if you get hit really hard early, you're just gonna die because the hitbox, like it has a small hitbox around like the stage compared to something like FD where the hitbox is so huge. You know, the other small stage in this game is FOD. The platforms move up and down and freaking booty clap you sometimes. I'm trying to make this video PG, no cussing, but these platforms can suck sometimes, okay? And there's counterpicking and stuff. That's for like a tournament video idea I have later. But yeah, it's the legal stages are FD, Battlefield, Yoshi's, FOD, Pokemon Stadium, and Dreamland. If you're playing Puff or like floaties in general, and you want to be, sorry floaties, lame and win your games, you want to play these stages because you can just chill up here, do all this. If you get an early stock lead, you know, you can play your distance on these stages compared to a smaller stage like Yoshi Stadium, where all the freaking crackhead foxes are going to come running at you and kill you early. But if you're Puff, you can do rest confirms and kill other people early, you know? This is a beautiful game. I love it so much. Also, what I'm going to do with the series, I kind of decided that I want to do a character specific kind of like explanation to this mini series that I want to start. But I think the next video will be about either both species or just Fox, and then another video about Falco. But yeah, I want to go into detail more about each individual character because I feel like I know a decent amount. Alright, but as a quick recap, right? In Melee, your movement consists of, let me get on a platform with stages. Your movement consists of dash dancing, right? Dash dancing. Wave dashing, where you jump and hold down and press shield. You can do it flat, to the left, to the right, off platforms to the right, off platforms to the left, down. Then there's L canceling, where 7 frames before you hit the floor, you click your shield button. Soft press or hard press. There is shield dropping, where if you have your shield and you have your analog stick, preferably to the left or right, and you plop yourself through, you can get through platforms faster. Again, I'm not going to go into full detail about like these techniques. There's a million videos online. There's also ledge dashing, where if you have your character on the ledge, you can fall off the ledge and then wave dash onto the ledge on either side of all the stages. Like that, because the reason that's good is you have invincibility frames where characters can't hit you, and then you can punish them for that. You can do it on both sides of stages. It's a technique I'm still getting better at because I like to say that I'm a Fox main, not a dual spacey main, because I feel better about my sanity. What other techniques? There's ledge stalling. If you're Puff, you can just kind of have invincibility by jumping and coming back on. With Marth, with Fox and Spaceys, you can just kind of do this technique on the side. Ledge stalling and stuff. Am I missing anything? Let me just go through one more time again. There's dash dancing, wave dashing, shield dropping, ledge stalling, ledge dashing, L canceling, and I think that's all. And there's a lot more specific techniques and stuff. Like if you're playing a crazy character like freaking Yoshi, he has like double jump canceling like this, where if you jump twice, like if you look at my Y button here, boom boom attack, and you can like kind of chain moves and stuff like that, or like bait at like the last second. Yoshi can also ledge stall. Yoshi can still do everything that all the other characters can do, but he's a weird character and I low-key love him. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my yapping. I enjoyed yapping very much making this, and I hope you start playing Melee. If you do, join my Discord and let me know. I love you all. Have a nice life. See ya.